My entitled mom stole my car to punish me for skipping family dinner, so I had her arrested for theft. I, 21 female, have a strange relationship with my mom, 47 female. She loves me a lot. Sometimes too much of anything becomes a problem, you know. My mom has always been an overprotective mother. She would go out of her means to be by my side, and as a child I loved her for having my back. However, as I grew up, I realized that it was less of love and more of her own self-worth. She was tying my success and my behavior as her report card as a good mother. I was reading about it the other day that some women who have not accomplished anything in life tie their self-worth to their children's upbringing. They overdo their parenting and want everyone to recognize their effort. It's damn toxic, I tell you. I have experienced this absurdity firsthand. To prove herself to be the best mother who raised a perfect kid, I had to be the perfect in all aspects, because if I faltered anything, it would be her failure. No one gave a crap about this, but she thought everyone did. It was no less than a mental illness. My childhood suffered because she was obsessed with raising a perfect kid. I have to score full marks, help in household chores, cannot play outside because only loser kids loiter outside, and be on my best behavior always because, hey, her daughter cannot do average stuff. She wanted me to pursue neuroscience. Apparently, she believed that was the topmost profession that earns the most amount of respect, and it was the toughest to crack. That was when I said, no way, I'm not dissecting someone's brain just to keep your brains wired. On a fun note, I wished I'd pursued it so I could cure her mental problem first. I felt so caged at my house that after finishing high school, I chose the farthest undergrad school so that I could get rid of my mom. She threw her worst fit at me for choosing accounting and not medical school. Thankfully, my father was a rational man and had my back. Initially, she was mad at me, but she came around after dad guilt-tripped her into thinking she was a bad mom for not supporting me enough. I know this could seem wrong to some of you, but sometimes you have to mess up their head to wire their brains. So, eventually, she put her guard down and came along. However, we still had that coldness between us. Last year, I lost my dad due to a heart attack. My relationship with mom was restored to normal as we shared our grief. After graduation, I got a job and I came back home to my hometown. She wanted me to stay with her as dad was gone, but I got my own place. There was no way I would live with her, who showcased me as her trophy. The thing is, though, I'm an adult living alone, but mom still treats me like I'm 12 years old. She is way too nosy. She has to know everything going on in my life, and moreover, she has to have a say in that. Her personality is so complex to explain, I can't tell you. Every time she visits my place, she would clean up the house, do my dishes and laundry, and make me dinner. She often brings me gifts. If I'm sick, she would drop everything and run to take care of me. Then on the other side, if I do anything against her wishes, she would lose her crap. Those could be any minor thing on which other parents won't even blink an eye. I feel so stupid to even share my problems here. I mean, I was reading their sub and everyone has been going through so much, and in front of that, my problem might sound trivial. But please hear me out, I need a bit of advice. So last weekend, one of my college friends was in town and she insisted we go out for a drink. Fair enough. The plan was set for Saturday. Initially, my friend was supposed to stay with her boyfriend, but I don't know if something happened between them, and she asked me if she could stay with me. I said, sure, hop in. On Saturday afternoon, I got a call from my mom asking me to get ready because she was on her way to pick me up. I asked where we were going. She said my aunt was coming over for a week, and we needed to head to the airport to pick her up. I told her about my evening plans with my friend. She asked me to cancel the plan because aunt is family and friend does not. I said aunt was here for a week. I could meet her on any other day, but my friend would leave tomorrow. She insisted I go with her to pick up aunt because that would make her happy. And as a good kid, I should do this. I said, I have had enough of this good kid thing and now I enjoy being bad, and hung up the call. 20 minutes later, she called me again saying she was waiting for me outside my apartment. I told her I had already left with my friend and hung up. She called me again saying she saw my car parked in the basement. I said we have rented a car. She got furious at me for not listening to her. She then tells me to come early in the evening and prepare apple pie for my aunt to cover up for this. Cover up for what? Cover up for not picking her up from the airport? I told her that I had plans with my friend for the whole weekend, and I was not coming back until Sunday afternoon. She absolutely lost it, saying, how could I miss the dinner with aunt? She had planned a dinner that evening for all the close relatives, and it would be rude of me to skip it. I stopped her and said we were already out of town and my phone is about to be dead, so we'll discuss the remaining stuff on Monday. I switched off my phone and got ready for the party. My friend and I had planned to get ourselves wasted that night, so we didn't risk taking my car. We'd rather booked a cab. We got ourselves so wasted that we slept through the Sunday afternoon. My friend flew back in the evening. On Monday morning yesterday, I left my apartment to go to work, but my car was missing. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. I was running late for work, so I grabbed a taxi and left. Later that day, I reported my missing car. I was feeling low and tired in the evening. I called up Mom and asked her if I could come to meet my aunt as I was not feeling good. I didn't tell her about my car theft thing yet. She asked me, "How could you come without your car?" I was like, "How do you know I didn't have a car?" She said she had taken away my car as a punishment for skipping the family dinner. Like, what the F? What? Do I look 12 years old to her? I screamed at her. She said I shouldn't be mad because I needed to be grounded for my actions and that I would get the car back after a month. I was breathing fire. She was not done with her punishment yet. I was instructed to visit my aunt every evening and make her favorite dinner. This was to compensate for my behavior. I couldn't believe she was saying all these things. I asked her if she was serious about it, because she was not making any sense. I'm an adult, and I have the right to do anything I want. She said she is my mother, and I cannot outgrow her. I'll have to follow what she says. Now the thing is, I know that my car was not stolen but taken away by my mom. I've already reported it missing to the cops. I'm sure the cops would be able to track it down in a matter of a few days. You guys would very well know that Mom would be booked for stealing as per the law. I'm in two minds, whether I should let the cops do their work and find my car, book my mom as per the law, or should I withdraw my complaint? A part of me says Mom deserved to be taught a lesson until my guilt comes in and tells me to withdraw it. What would you guys have done in my situation? Update 1. Thanks for the advice. You guys are right in saying that it's high time Mom needs to bear the consequences of her actions. I mean, I had it enough from her. She has been my pain in the butt since childhood. She had conditioned me to be a people pleaser. I didn't even realize that about me until I was in college. It's a terrible thing to do to your child. I'm tearing up as I write this. In order to earn the social badge of perfect mother who raised her perfect daughter, I lost my childhood. Right from the age of 11, when someone came to our house, I had to attend to them, get them coffee, beverages, or whatever they needed to make themselves comfortable, so that they compliment her about how well she has raised me. Now, when I see teenagers storming into their rooms after every minor inconvenience, I am shocked. I mean, it was never a choice for me because good girls don't do that. I never dared to give back answers to my mom. I cannot even imagine what would have happened if I had ever been rude to her. You can call me spineless. That's what I've been calling myself, but that's how I've been wired by my mom. In high school, when everyone would plan a party for the weekend, my mom would line up different household tasks for me, vacuuming the house, mowing the lawn, cleaning the car, etc., so that the neighbors would know how efficient and well-behaved a girl my mom has raised. My mom taught me knitting at the age of 14. That's the age of having fun. She would make me knit sweaters for my aunt's kid. The worst part was during summer vacations when all the other kids did all the cool stuff like summer camps, hiking, and vacations. My mom would ship me to my aunt's place to babysit her children. I used to be so dang pissed off, but hey, you can't complain, but good girls don't do that. While picking me up from my aunt's place, she would ask my aunt if I did a good job. My aunt was kind, and she would shower praises on me, and that would be my mom's reward. While driving back home, she would be like, "You see how happy it feels to help others? How grateful people are towards you. Doesn't it make you feel great?" I wanted to yell, "No, it doesn't. I don't like being a slave and licking their butt," but all I could do was nod and sulk. She made me a perfect doormat creature. But thank God I got out of that toxic self and became a confident woman in my college years. Moving out helped me a lot. Now my mom calls me a spoiled kid because I have learned to stand up for myself. Okay, let me jump straight into the update. So my car went missing from my apartment and I lodged a missing complaint with the cops. Later, I got to know that my mom took it away to discipline me because I chose to spend the evening with my friend instead of joining her for family dinner. I was confused about whether to withdraw my complaint since the car was with my mom and let the cops follow the legal route because technically she did steal my car. So I held on to my spine and let the cops do their work. My mom texted me the next day saying she could reduce my punishment by a week if I take on for a weekend outing. I said I was fine with the punishment of separating my car for a month. She said even if I didn't want the car, I should visit home to meet aunt and take her for an outing. I replied no way. She got mad at me and texted that I would remain grounded for the next weekend, and she would come to my place to check if I was abiding by her order. I left her on scene. She said I would have to face the consequences of my misbehavior. 2 days later, that was on Thursday, I get a call from the cops telling me they had found my car, but the woman who had stolen it claimed herself to be my mom, and she says it's a punishment for misbehavior. They had seized the car and asked me to come over to the station. They had the car and my mom in custody. When I went to the station, I saw my mom arguing with the cops about how this could be a crime and why did they arrest her. It was so funny to hear the banter between the cops and my mom. This woman has got no chills. The cops asked me if she was my mom. I said yes, she is. Cops, did you know she brought your car? Me, no, I didn't know about this when I lodged the complaint. My mom intervened. I told her she would get her car back after a month. Cops, why? Mom, because it's her punishment for not listening to my orders. The cops pulled out my documents in their iPad and asked her, do you own or co-own the car? Mom, no, but I'm her mother, so everything that is hers is mine. Cops, no, it's not. She's an adult, and you cannot claim her property to be yours. Mom raised her voice at them. Can't you hear? She's my daughter, and I took away her car to punish her. It was not stealing. Cops, it was stealing, and your daughter is an adult, so you have no right whatsoever to punish her. And mind your voice, because if I lose my cool, you're not gonna like it. Mom, sorry, but you're not understanding that this is between me and my daughter. Cops interjected and said, now it was a legal matter since I'd file a stealing complaint, which clearly is proven now. They issued her a ticket and asked her to appear in front of the judge for the trial. Mom hired an attorney who was her friend's daughter. In the court, she defended my mom, saying that she was trying to discipline me for my misbehavior. The judge asked my mom what was the behavior she was trying to punish me for. My mom was like, well, that's our family matter. I don't want to discuss it here. The judge said that it was no longer a family matter and she had to tell everything in front of everyone. She said, well, I asked her to come with me to the airport to pick up her aunt, but she didn't. I was still okay with that, but she declined to host dinner for her aunt and even refused to join us. What kind of daughter does that? The look on the judge and others present was unmissable. Even my mom's attorney was shocked to hear the reason. She said that it did not matter what was the reason. The point was that she had not stolen her daughter's car. She had just taken it away from her. As a mother, she has the right to discipline her daughter. The judge stopped her and asked my mom, ma'am, how old is your daughter? Mom fumbled, 21 yet she is a tender age and prone to making mistakes. The judge laughed and asked her attorney if she had no better thing to do that day than to present this lady to the court. Mom's attorney said she didn't know I was an adult. She was told I was a minor, so she had the right to take the car away. The judge chuckled and said, ma'am, you didn't have the bad intention of stealing a car, so I'm letting you go with a lower amount. My mom tried to shut him, saying, how on earth could parents discipline their child if the state intervened like this? The judge lost his mind and gave Mom the much-needed yellings of her life. He said, your daughter is 21. She's legally an adult despite what you think her to be. The car is owned by her, so if you are whisking it away without her permission, it's a crime. Lastly, instead of grounding your 21-year-old daughter, thank her for not cutting you off like other kids. I got my car back. Mom was let go by paying a fine. It's been 2 days since then. I have not heard from her. I don't know what's going on. If I know her, she's not taken this well that I have dragged her off to court. It would have shattered her ego and crushed her golden badge of raising a perfect daughter. This was needed to put her in her place, and I don't regret any bit of it. I'll update on what happens next. Update 2. Here's a new update to my story. Almost a week later to the trial, my aunt called me. She said Mom was in trauma, that I humiliated her. She's not eating properly and refusing to talk to anyone. My aunt was here for a week and now she was heading back to her home. She wanted me to take care of Mom, as I have not done anything wrong. My aunt understands my situation. She has seen everything I have gone through since childhood. She asked me to go soft for my mom because she was alone after Dad's death. After a lot of inner battles, I put my guard down and showed up at my mom's. My God, she was still that narcissistic woman. She refuses to accept her mistakes. She blames me for overstepping my boundaries. She gaslighted the situation and guilt-tripped me that I humiliated her. I said you started it, but God knows what she smokes. She doesn't get it. She wanted me to take responsibility for my actions and apologize to her publicly. My mom goes to church every Sunday. She used to drag me with her until I moved out, so she wants me to confess my mistakes in front of the whole community on Sunday. I laughed at her and said, you know what? You suck. You suck as a mom, suck as a person. I wish I told you earlier that you're a horrible mother. You thought you raised a perfect daughter. No, you didn't. You raised a doormat. It took me a long time to grow my backbone, and now I'm not stepping back to feed your ego. If you want a daughter in your life, you better introspect and give up on your mission to make me a perfect person. I don't want to be perfect. I want to be happy. She tried to intervene, but I continued with my rant. I was fuming with anger. I felt my emotions erupting like it was suppressed for many years. This was the first time ever I raised my voice at her. It was unbelievable for her. She started sobbing and said, where did my parenting go wrong that you're still spitting venom at me? I yelled, every bit of your parenting was toxic and that's why you get this in return. When none of her cards worked, she pulled out the victim card that I was torturing her when I should be supporting her after Dad's death. She started howling about how lonely her life had been after Dad's death. And on top of that, I was being mean to her. I said enough of her tactics. I'm so done with you. You can call me whatever you want. You can go around bad-mouthing me in the whole town. I don't care. She said she can never talk trash about me because being a mother, she cannot be evil to me, despite what I have done to her. I was like, cut the crap. Bring yourself down from a superficial pedestal. You can't talk bad about me because you think that would damage your reputation of being a perfect mom. You don't care about me or my happiness. All you care is about your self-proclaimed title. I stormed out of the house because our conversation became deadlocked. There was no way she would put her card down, and this time I was also holding on to my guns. I have applied for a transfer to a different city. I want to move farthest away from her. I don't care what she or anyone else thinks about me. I have wasted my golden teenage years being her puppet. Now I'm gonna lead my life the way I want. I don't know, maybe in the long run I might prove to be wrong, but it's okay, I'm willing to risk it. So that's it, until now. My mom doesn't know about my transfer decision, neither I'm gonna tell her about this. It's been a month now, and I'm no contact with her. You can say I'm probably cutting her off. Yeah, that's what the plan is. Let's see how it goes. But I have to thank you guys for all the support. Writing here feels good. I think I'll continue journaling about my life here. Thanks again.